What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome back to another episode of the 5 Things That Changed. It's Tuesday, so it's a Modern Warfare Remastered campaign video. Here with this one today, we're going to be taking a look at 5 more changes within the campaign of Modern Warfare Remastered, and as always here, it is some trivial stuff. It's just the fun facts, little things that you might not have noticed immediately, so hopefully don't chew off my face here within this one, but it is something that this series has always been based off of trivia. It's just been for fun, and taking a look at some of the subtle changes within this, and with Modern Warfare Remastered being a complete overhaul graphically and redone in some aspects, it is something we can just take a look at and have some fun with here with it. So that said, if you guys do enjoy this, make sure to drop a like, rating down below. If you guys are new to the channel, maybe consider subscribing to stay up to date with everything Modern Warfare Remastered and Infinite Warfare coming up here with this. But also, if you guys don't want to miss a single episode of the 5 Things That Changed, usually it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. I might actually have another extra special one here going up sometime live throughout the weekend. So that said, stick around for that. Click that subscribe button to stay up to date. But let's start off with number 1 here. This one is one that you guys brought to my attention as well. You guys have been leaving your suggestions down there in the comments, and I love that, so keep doing that. Keeps this series alive, and it keeps you guys with more changes to take a look at every single week. But the first one deals with the intro to the game itself. Now, right now it is something we only have access to the campaign. It is not the full entire game of Modern Warfare Remastered, so it might be subject to change, but as it stands right now, the Modern Warfare Remastered campaign that PlayStation 4 users have is different from that of the main loading screen from Call of Duty 4 back in 2007. The intro with the 50,000 people used to live here, that is what everybody almost recognizes, and I'll play that for you guys right now if you don't.
50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
Our so-called leaders prostituted us to the West, destroyed our culture, our economies, our honor.
U.S. Marines stationed on high alert were given the order to invade the small
So in comparison to one from Modern Warfare Remastered, the campaign that we have right now, it goes a little something like this. So, as you can see, a little bit more straightforward here with this one, but once again, I think that it might have the possibility to be reverted back to a more upscaled version of the original, because right now, all we have is the campaign, so it's not the full game, but it is something you guys pointed out to me, and I decided, you know what, let's put it in there, because it is quite a significant change, and one that a lot of people might not be too fond of if they really like that 50,000 people quote. The next thing we're going to be taking a look at here, the second change today, deals with FNG. Once again, we've talked about this now for each of the episodes here, I believe, that we've done with this, but that said, there is a lot of stuff that has been changed around here subtly or not so subtly within Modern Warfare Remastered, and this one is actually going to deal with the more graphical standpoint here of it, why it was added into the game. That being, as soon as you finish up the initial training with Gaz, you're prompted to go out and meet Captain Price in the other hangar. So when you do that in the original, you first just walk through the door, there's nothing really there, you get opened up to the whole brand new world that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and you go meet Price. That's the end of the story. However, whenever you go and do this here within the remastered version, you end up actually getting a mini little cutscene here with this. As soon as you try and open the door, your character is close enough and it triggers the cutscene where you open it, you push it open, you see this ambient light of the sun, and then you see a giant tank roll across, you see stuff off in the distance, and it really is graphically extremely beautiful whenever you think about it, especially compared to the previous and the original version of Modern Warfare, and it adds just a whole brand new layer, and it's a way for the developers to get the point across that you guys are in for a treat right off the bat. The next change here with this one, number 3, is going to be one that some people may recognize right off the bat, some may not necessarily too much. We're going to be talking about Gaz's death animation. No matter what way you spin it, Gaz was a character a lot of players absolutely loved here within the original Modern Warfare, and of course within Modern Warfare Remastered as well, but his death was one that a lot of people seem to take to the comments with once again and let me know about, but also one that you might notice off the bat by yourself. In the original, Gaz was a little bit slower to get up. He stumbled stumbled around a little bit more in terms of trying to pick himself up. Not actually like he was up and walking and stumbling, because that never happened. The thing is that he never looked at Zakhaev in the original. He ended up just dying in a little bit more of a merciful manner, where he did not face his judgment head on, where he was not looking down the barrel of a loaded gun. He instead got executed at random. It wasn't something that he knew when it was going to happen, but in the remastered version of Modern Warfare, he's a little quicker to get up firstly, and then he turns around and looks at Zakhaev. That is something that I think is a little bit more of a way to make him look like the ultimate bad guy, somebody that is really a hated character within the Modern Warfare campaign, because whenever you take that situation and flip it around, whenever he's looking him dead in the eyes, it is something that shows absolutely no mercy when he still pulls the trigger and then Gaz is finished off in that manner. So it is something that I think, though it is a subtle little detail that is added in within this, I think it also makes him look like that much more of a bad guy, and I think that it's something that gives a little bit more power to the execution, if that makes any sense, and kind of sounds pretty awful to say, but his death is that much more powerful just with that subtle addition to the body gesture and the body movement. Now, the fourth change here that we're going to be talking about is a very similar manner here, in which, once again, you guys pointed this one out to me, but it's something you might notice if you know the scene well enough, because, well, the final mission of Modern Warfare is quite a universally known one. If you've played Call of Duty or any of the campaigns, this is probably the one that you've played, and it stuck out the most here within it. A lot of campaigns are good, but a lot of people really hold Modern Warfare to a whole new level, or whole different level, rather, within this. So this one is going to deal with Captain Price in that same sequence of events that led up to the final minutes of the Modern Warfare campaign. So you may know it by now, the way that it goes here, where Captain Price is the one that slides over the M1911 to you playing as Soap, in which you take out then Zakhaev and his men surrounding him with that in slow motion, and it's a very cool sequence of events. It's one that really sticks out to a lot of players, but in the original, Price was actually a little bit more on his back. He wasn't necessarily in the greatest position. He was kind of stumbling just on one arm, because, well, he was wounded in action here within this, and so he's stumbling across with this on his side and manages to slide you the M1911, to which you finish off level and do your thing here with this. However, in the Modern Warfare Remastered version, he's a little bit more coherent, he's a little bit more able to do the job here with this, and he's on his stomach instead of on his side and or back, however you want to look at it here with it, and it makes the slide a little bit more natural, a little bit more less painful to watch, if you want to put it that way, and it looks like he has more control with it. So once again, a little bit of a subtle change here with this one, but definitely one that a lot of people have noticed by previous comments that you guys have left me, but also one you may have noticed just on your own. Now, the final change that we're going to be discussing here today deals a little bit outside of the campaign itself, but more with the campaign overall as a whole from a UI and design point of view. This one actually deals with the main menu for the mission selection. This is something that is a little bit drab and dull in the original Modern Warfare, and something that just gives a brief little icon of the mission and a very, very minimal description of what every level will have overall here with this. With the new graphical capabilities of Modern Warfare Remastered and the current generation consoles, this is something that got changed up a little bit, and of course will now offer a little bit more in the way of not only just pleasurable viewing experiences, but also offers more in the way of what you can see in general. Like I said, the original is quite drab, quite dull, but instead, the main menu mission selections here within the remastered version show a couple of cool things here within this, one of which being a mini-map of where each of the missions are located in the globe. It has the outlines of the area, and you can see that in the borders of the countries and all that kind of stuff, like you'd be looking at a physical map. And that said, I think that's a very cool addition here with it. Just adds for a little bit more of a pleasing aesthetic and something that adds to the overall feel of this. But also, one thing that you will definitely notice is the backing imagery. This is something that immediately players will be drawn to, because it's not just a standard background image like we saw in Modern Warfare back in 2007, but instead this one is more interactable. Though you can't directly affect what happens with it, it does give excerpts of the mission that you'll be playing here within that certain selection. So, for example, the Mile High Club is all about rescuing the president and then breaching the wall of the plane and going out, and there's a massive breach that happens in that quick little level right after the campaign is ended, and that breach is what shows up whenever it is selected before you actually choose to play that mission. It's something that just gives that little excerpt of what you'll be playing, and I think it's a very nice addition to the UI and design overall for the menu selection. But that is a wrap here on the 5 changes for this week and the campaign changes for Modern Warfare Remastered in this one. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. That's where we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Did you guys see any changes in the game that we have not talked about yet here in any of the episodes? Or if not, which is your favorite here that we've talked about in this one today? I would love to hear your thoughts on this one down there in the comment section down below. So leave your thoughts down there, whatever it may be. It's always, of course, welcomed. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like rating down below. If you guys are new to the channel, maybe consider subscribing to stay up to date with everything Modern Warfare Remastered and, of course, Infinite Warfare. And additionally, so you don't miss any of these episodes of the 5 things that changed, we got another one coming Thursday. That one's probably going to be an Infinite Warfare video talking about the changes from the alpha to the beta, or whatever you want to call the COD XP build of Infinite Warfare. But regardless, we'll have more of these coming up Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're keeping on that schedule, so hopefully you guys do enjoy it. And that said, make sure you stick around so you don't miss any of them if you do. But thank you guys so much for watching. Might as well be cool. I will see you guys later. Take care and peace.